we got a special guest in the building. You know, I'm not one to hype things up too much, but some might say that he is one of the godfathers of social media, one of the Twitter.com, Instagram veterans, and is often behind the scenes in a lot of your favorite shows and programs online. So without further ado, we wanted to bring on our special guest into the Late Night Lake Show, pregame show, our brother Josiah Johnson. Josiah, how you doing tonight, bro?
What's up, fellas? Thanks y'all for having me on, man. I appreciate y'all. I was enjoying y'all healthy discussion over here in the waiting room. So excited to be able to tap in with y'all and get this going.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us, my friend. Thank you.
Absolutely, Jay. What first off, we just gonna get right into it, right? I linked up with you. I needed to have you on the show. The first of order of business, you are bleeding purple and gold, correct? This is a Lakers pregame show. So the Lakers fan, yes?
I'm a LeBron James fan through and through. So as a part of that marriage with LeBron, I'm here with the Lakers. You know, full transparency. My pops played for the Clippers growing up. I grew up kind of with some Stockholm syndrome, being a Clippers fan under that Sterling regime. But as soon as LeBron said he was coming to the Lake Show, it was over. We made this move. We made the next move our best move. So happy to be here, man. Obviously, first-rate organization. The fans have been great, really bringing us LeBron fans in, man. So just happy to be a part of this special thing that they got going on now.
Wow. Hey, man, I'm with you there. I'm a disciple of the LeBron Nation, so I came from there as well. So
we got two world travelers now in the building. All right, well, I mean, let's just kick it off like that. I was scrolling, trying to do my research, doing my background on you, and I had noticed you had popped a little bubbly when the Lakers had won the championship. So just first and foremost, man, as a LeBron fan and for his entire career, for him to get that faux piece, that from what I hear, a lot of LeBron fans were satisfied with just that Cleveland ring. It's like, all right, I'll argue this to the death. I don't care how many more he wins. But for him to get the 4 with the Lakers getting 17, how did that one hit? Was it different than the other 3?
I don't know any LeBron. I mean, look, when he came back to Cleveland, kind of fulfilled the prophecy, won the championship. We were happy because we knew, obviously, Warriors fans were kind of popping off a lot at that point. 73 wins. Draymond was feeling himself a little too much. Obviously, messing with other dudes, Johnsons, for lack of a better word. So we were, obviously that kind of put LeBron on that plane, right? To beat the greatest team of all time. Smacked him 3 straight times, including on their home court Game 7. But we knew when LeBron was coming to the Lakers, as a LeBron fan, we got a lot of heat. A lot of people were talking trash to us. Oh, he just wants to come be an actor. He's not serious anymore. He's just he don't really want to hoop no more. He's not really about that life. We had the young core year 1. LeBron had the hammy injury while he was smacking the Warriors again on Christmas. That season kind of was a wash. Behind the scenes, we had heard AD's name rumbling. None of us, really necessarily believed that it would be able to happen. Nobody thought the Pelicans would pull the trigger and give the Lakers that missing link, that piece. But AD came through. AD on the way. He came through.
On the
and
way.
We got it. So for him to win this bubble, obviously, with the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant earlier this year in January, I think at that point, Lakers fans, LeBron fans, we all knew what it was going to require from the squad this season. It wasn't the do it for Kobe thing, but when situations like that happen, everybody knows what Kobe meant to the city, what Kobe meant to the Lakers. LeBron just wasn't going to put up a half-butt performance. He was going to go out there and really do it. So for them to go to the bubble, pandemic, even that, Mickey Mouse ring, all the trash people were talking even there. No home court advantage. LeBron doesn't get the MVP. AD doesn't get the Defensive Player of the Year. Clippers are going to give us the fade. We're not going to be able to get past that squad. Didn't have to worry about it. But for them to be able to go get that championship, man, hoist up that 17th ring, I think it ties the Celtics now, or does it pass them? Or
no, we on that ass this year. It's a wrap now.
Yeah.
There's
ties
nothing
the
left to say.
I think as LeBron fan, as Lakers fans, knowing kind of, Lakers fans were looking at LeBron fans a little funky when he first came. They had heard a lot of things, heard he was this way, that way, thought he was going to try to run the team over. A lot of misconceptions that kind of get spread around from other teams. But LeBron came through, got the chip. Now we're trying to repeat, obviously. And it starts again with this Blazers game tonight.
Yes, sir. I love it. Well said.
And I mean, so I guess this is the official embracing of the welcoming of the fusions of, Laker Nation and LeBron Nation. That championship ring has forever married the two fan bases. And I don't know where LeBron fans are going to go after LeBron retires. Obviously, your home is Laker Nation, and I would hope that the marriage between the two would last beyond my man's career. Or we'll see. I've met a few of LeBron fans saying, you know what, I don't care about basketball after. I've been like, did you care about basketball that much before, dog? So, you know, regardless, we saw, Josiah, that LeBron actually did, you know, he's been dealing with a sprained ankle. You know, he's been cruising his way, let's say, to start this year, more so than he has ever had to in his career. Obviously, the short time frame between the championship and opening night, combined with the little nicks and bruises that he's running into. The man jokes about drinking wine to help heal him up. But do you think Superman is a little bit more vulnerable this year with everything considered and everything that is going on between the shortened seasons?
Look, I would hope, and I said this, I tweeted some along the lines of this last night, but you saw AD rest yesterday. I think he's playing tonight. I don't know if we got official word if LeBron's in or out tonight. I would hope that with the 71-day layoff, obviously the regular season for these guys now, it's just unprecedented. The bubble was unprecedented. Now the start of this new season is unprecedented. They've never had that short of a layoff out there to have to go do it. I would hope that these dudes are just in cruise control till at least February, at least Black History Month. All right, you know, chill. At least Martin Luther King Day. Get a little break. You know, I have a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream they can get a little rest. So I'm not really, you know, as a LeBron, as a Laker fan, tripping on anything that's going on at the start of the season. I think you could put these dudes, especially if we're talking about playing the rest of this year with no fans. We'll see how that breaks down once his vaccine obviously gets in full effect. But if it's not an issue with home court or any of that type of situation, I'd be perfectly comfortable with these dudes being 4 or 5 seed. Not really, you know, develop THT, get Caruso where he needs to be, get Wesley Matthews with some confidence in his game to really go out there and get it. And, you know, don't really stress this. You know, last year I think they had something to prove with AD and LeBron. Like, we got to come out here and get it. We got to show that we can really do it. They've done that. You know, obviously 1 seed would be great, but just really, you know, low managed, man. Really, LeBron's year 18. Right now we're playing with house money. AD has a tendency to get, you know, some slight nicks and injuries throughout the season. You know, we saw a lot last year. It was like, damn, is this dude? He looked like he was done for the season like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
In the bubble, you know, he would land awkward and be like, oh man, this is not what we needed. But then, you know, 5 minutes later, he's back on the court getting it. So I think at this point the Lakers have nothing to prove in the regular season. We've seen the way the other teams, you think about that 73-9 Warrior squad, the way they really put it all out there, and respect to them for trying to go for the record. But, you know, come finals time, you know, that doesn't mean anything. So at the end of the day, nobody's going to look back at your regular season record and be like, oh, you weren't, you know, 60-12 or whatever it may be. They're going to see that you win 4 games in the finals. So that's what the Lakers' mindset's got to be on. And LeBron, year 18, I'm not tripping if he wants to take an extended layoff. But I know the competitor in him won't do that. But, you know, we'll see.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. I think this team is deep enough to make that kind of rest happen. I mean, you know, they blew Timberwolves out the other night, and the guy only played 26 minutes. You know, that could be a trend, and he can continue to play, you know, career low minutes. I mean, I'm sure, like you said, the competitor in him will change, and, you know, he'll probably want to get up for, you know, bigger matchups, play here and there just to make sure he keeps himself well. And I think he had a comment the other day, you know, saying, you know, he works on his body, and, you know, if you're always ready, you never had to get ready. So I think that's the key to this all. So, I mean, Josiah, if we could just get your opinion, I mean, you know, we had a phenomenal offseason, in my opinion. I think a lot of Laker Nation's opinion as well. Yeah. What do you think is the what would you rate our offseason? Who's your favorite acquisition? What do you think they could bring to the team this season?
I mean, obviously Schroeder came through, you know, 6-man, you know, I mean, it's just like him. You see that game. I know they're talking extension, all that stuff. He's not really tripping. And you love to see that out of a guy when he's not just trying to get the bread because he knows he's about to get way more. Now, whether that means they can keep him or not, you know, that is what it is. But for this season and in the short term, having a dude like that come in, and we've seen it. We saw it the Clipper game, obviously, where they took the L in. But with that second squad coming out, and there's no, you know, that second squad sometimes is playing better than the first squad, right? They're coming out. They're not blowing leads. And that's always been an issue with kind of LeBron-led teams in years past. Was like, all right, when LeBron's off the court, it's like, you know, they're just holding on. Those Cavs teams were just holding on for dear life. They weren't, you know, LeBron go off the court with a 5-point lead. It's like, you know, you would come back in the game, they'd be down 2 or whatever it may be. And that was kind of a normal thing. Now LeBron go off the court with a 5-point lead. He coming back and it's like a 12-point lead. It's like, right. You know, I mean, these dudes are really giving him, and that's even last year as a Lakers fan, you would stress out when those dudes weren't both on the court together because it's like, really, we just need to hold on so we can get that hitter squad back out there. But to see the way these dudes move and shake, even with Gasol, and it's funny, I wasn't really a fan of necessarily losing Dwight. I'm a big Dwight fan, but Dwight would also do a lot of boneheaded stuff that literally was just frankly
we didn't talk about that much last year. We didn't talk about it a lot, Jay. There was times where we had to keep a eye test on, is Dwight unraveling just a smidge? And the answer was no at the end of the day, kept his cool. But definitely throughout last year, there were some dumbass technical fouls that we were like, brother, please, this is not WWE right now.
Who are you fooling? You in 4K. We got who are you fooling? We've got replays. We got a center in New Jersey where they're literally just looking for these type of situations. But Gasol coming in, everybody was hating on the Gasol, like, oh, he's washed, he's whatever. I know he struggled first couple games, but came through last night and really showed what he's capable of doing. I think this is the thing. You're looking at that roster is super deep, is built for the playoffs, right? This is what they're focused on. Getting these guys rep, getting a guy like THT comfortable and confident so he can do what he did in the preseason, be able to, I wouldn't be surprised to see him have a couple 30-point games throughout this regular season where he just let him go. And as Lakers fans, we see that happen. It's like, okay, this is
right.
Again, we're second rounder. I mean, this is where, we're getting these dudes on the cheap. Almost like obviously Kuz was a first rounder, but that value, late round guys, what I'm saying? We're not having to break big bread to see these guys go out there and do what they're doing. So I think the whole squad, man, I'm excited for the team's depth. Hopefully they can stay healthy. Like I said, that 71-day layoff is definitely a cause for concern. But if they can stay focused, I think, there shouldn't be an issue with them repeating. Obviously, KD and the Nets are going to be a big problem. I know they just lost Dinwiddie, which is going to be a major blow for them. So really it's going to be who's the last man standing and who's going to have the healthiest guys come playoff time.
No, that's facts. I got a couple questions about non-basketball related, but while I got you Lakers topics, last one I got for you is, so as a LeBron fan, you've seen all of his teammates from Jurnik Sagauskas to Fat Shaq, right, all the way through D Wade and Chris Bosh to Kyrie Irving, and now to the young core with the Lakers, to AD on the way to AD championship with you, right? Who is LeBron James's best teammate?
I don't even want to say it's a recency bias, but it's AD. And to be honest with you, I'm a big Lonzo fan. I'm a big BI fan. I'm a big Josh Hart fan. So when they made that trade in the back of my mind, I was just like, ooh, it just seemed like a lot for a dude who has had some injury issues, right? It seems like, no knock to AD's game, but, he was always phenomenal with what he was doing with the Pelicans. But when he came through this past season, and really I think about that, the game winner on the Blazers, in the Mamba jerseys, just that, and Kyrie's provided a lot of that. Kyrie, I'd say, is a close second, but AD, now you're getting a dude who's literally could be in that conversation. It's going to be hard for him because big men never get the love that they're supposed to. But to see the things that he does at that size, man, for me, I'm 6'7", and I can't imagine. I grew up in a time when it was like, "Are you 6'7" or taller? Get your butt to the basket, give me some post moves. What are you shooting threes for?" I mean, to see the way this dude, and even watching that, the Lakers had that Leave a Legacy show on last night that recapped the 2019-2020 season that I kept on Spectrum after the game ended. But just to see that play. And, LeBron was great on that screen, but AD really wasn't open. Jokic had recovered and got in his grill, but just to see him rise over, dude, with that beautiful stroke, it's just like, for me, those moments and having that killer instinct. So I look at AD, and no disrespect, D Wade, I think LeBron got kind of the tail end of his career. He kind of had knee problems. Bosh kind of had his situations going on. Bosh also, another great player. But nobody is on the level of AD. I think we've seen it, the way he's been able to elevate LeBron year 17, now year 18, his game. And you just see LeBron out there. LeBron, I've seen variations of LeBron from 03 all the way to now. I've seen bitter LeBron that didn't have the teammates to necessarily do it, LeBron on the bench. And, just like what's going on. You think about, the 2017 or 2018 with the timeout issue with JR. Just he don't have that, he has complete and total trust in AD and also knows that come crunch time, AD's going to get you that game-winning stop like a Bosh will get you. But he's going to get you that bucket too, like Bosh could do, but not at the level AD's really giving you. So I think, and this is obviously recency bias, but I think him and AD can do something special. You don't want to go, on a limb and say three-peat, but if these dudes, if they can put it together this year, the Lakers are already a desirable destination. So you're going to get some dudes on a discount next year because guys just want to play. I just want a ring, man. At this point, I've played other places. You think about, guys that just want to come in and get a ring now that have got the bread. it's going, they're going. I even see this year a potential. They're going to get a name on that roster who nobody expected to come through, and it's just going to be like, damn, they got this dude too.
And you always see that, right? When dynasties need to retool, you go from looking at some of the Bulls players and how they had Charles Oakley on the team. All of a sudden, you look around and now they got Horace Grant on the team, right? Just those upgrades that you don't really think about, but at the same time, those guys back then, cold-blooded in their primes, right? Now they starting to get to the tail end on the back 9, the back 7, the back 3 of their career. And they're like, shit, I ain't got to put up too much more points. I can only grab so many more rebounds. This time to put some jewelry on. And I don't think there's a player in the league that I relate to more in the world than Markieff Morris when he re-signed, and how that development went down on the timeline with him telling his brother, oh, yeah, bro, we going to double up. Let me just go and get this back-to-back real quick, and I'll be right back with you. And evidently they're all splitting, Steve Ballmer's paychecks with the Clippers. So it all works out at the end, right? So
keep still getting the Clippers check. That's those dudes. Obviously, I never, I met those dudes years ago, and just the way they're inseparable. So to your point, it wasn't like Marcus just got that deal. Keith got that deal too. Where do you think that bread is going? Like we split. That's all. That's like the Lopez brothers. That's communal. That's community property, bro. We split that bread. So I think you just see these dudes in the way, a guy like Keith who came on and it's just like, oh man, just every time he lines up for a 3, I don't even care if it goes in. I just love watching him shoot because I know those buckets that they get now in these games that used to be a problem for them where teams will go on runs. It's like, now we're putting an end to that real quick. We may have a bad possession or two, but Keith gonna come down and hit one. Caruso might come down and give you one. Schroeder gonna come down and give you one. It's just, you have Mark Gasol gonna come down and get, he was hitting threes last game. I'm just like, this
logo threes. I was like, Mark,
yeah.
Porque, me brother, I don't understand. Like, you're wild. Right. That little Conor McGregor, right? Oh my God, that's hilarious. Jay, I to switch gears with you real quick transition. Obviously, you are a busy man behind the sticks. With what you are working on, whether it's the damage you are doing on the timeline, viral tweet after viral tweet after viral tweet, all the way to you getting your hands and working on some of our, favorite shows that are upcoming for some of these sports, for a lot of our sports fans, that will be dropping soon. My first question is, man, Twitter specific, are you a phone warrior or are you trapping off the laptop? You have to be trapping off the laptop, right?
I'm a phone. I mean, the laptop is just too elaborate and hard for me because look, I'm one of those type of human beings. I've got like 50 tabs open on the computer at all times. So I might bounce on a tab and it's an idea and I'll just get locked in it. Where the phone, for me, I'm watching the game. I'm on the phone. I'm flipping through. Y'all see it now even during the show. Like I'm just flipping through, seeing what's going on, noticing trends, and don't let it be a live game. Live games for me are the best because I like every time I come into Twitter, I just think about all these, social media teams at 5-10 deep. They've got, Slack and everybody, the crew of human beings. Here's what's the caption going to be? What's this going to be? Like, for me, it's just like I got to compete against those people. So I'm going out there trying to get bigger numbers, and it's a healthy, friendly competition in my mind. I just know, like, all right, what's ESPN going to put up? What's Bleacher going to put up? And I know there's shit that I could put up that they can't put up, right? There's things that I can talk about that they can't talk about. So I just focus on that stuff, and I really try to get. There's a line of being out of pocket. I try and tiptoe that line as much as possible, where everything I'm putting out, it's going to be out of pocket, but it's going to make you think. And it's also going to take, it's going to have some satire, some humor attached to it, but really it's also a coping mechanism just for the stuff that we deal with as black men and women in America and things that I want to get off my chest that I know if I was working at a ESPN or a Bleacher, I'd be getting the email right away from boss saying, you got to take that down or you can't say this, you can't say that. So I really take pride in kind of coming to the game and really delivering stuff for people that, don't want to kind of get that corporate. It's a lot of people on that side. I know a lot of people are super talented, but a lot of people on that side will just kind of take from the culture, take from the community, and then repurpose that, but won't break bread or hire those very same voices that are really, 100%. Giving the whole game that. So I really try to make a point of amplifying those voices as much as I see them, because I know, but also it hurts too, because I know once I retweet this, somebody else is going to snatch that shit and it's going to end up where, it's going to end up on 50 IG meme accounts. Like I know every time I got a viral tweet, somebody's going to send me that shit from an IG account
on
I never
Instagram.
Heard of.
Yep.
With no credit or discreet with the credit, whatever. And it's just like, for me, I'm not tripping on that because to your point, I make bags doing other things. Like Twitter's not my main sole bread and butter. Twitter for me is more my pickup game, my DJ set. Let me test my material. Let me test my jokes and content. But still, it hurts when I see, myself and other people like put out a fire tweet and I'm just like, I already know I'm gonna see
Hawks coming.
They're just, just give me that with no credit, no love. And it's just like, for some people, I try to make a point where I don't give a fuck because I know inevitably I'm going to have more heat. Like I got the clip always loaded. But I know for some people that might be their greatest thought, their greatest idea, whatever comes from it. And for them to not get the love or credit for it, it really bothers and concerns me. But it is what it is.
That's crazy because, I've been a follower for a little while. And, you always are ready with a clip or something. And it's just crazy how fast it is. It's like, man, this guy, like you said,
I can't believe he's trapping off the phone.
And to do that off the phone, man, hey, your camera roll must have some wild stuff in there. So, hey.
It does, but a lot of stuff is just on the fly, to be honest with you. Like I'll just see something and it'll click something in my brain. Like I'm 38, so I'm a little bit older, but I've consumed so much media throughout my 38 years on this earth that I have so many just pop culture references, whatever. Obviously heavy in the black culture and the black favorites, obviously John Singleton movies, situations like that, Martin, whatever it may be. And there's a lot of stuff, I joke with the younger generation, like there's a lot of shit I won't touch. You won't ever really see a SpongeBob meme come from me unless it's done in like a whatever satirical condescending way, but that's just not. I was too old for SpongeBob, so a lot of times I get this shit. I didn't really watch the show, but I respect the young kids. I understand where they're coming with it, but that's never going to be something that pops in my head. But what will pop in my head is that scene from Menace to Society, or that scene from Boys in the Hood, or that scene from Friday. From iconic cult classic that we all kind of grew up with, and then I'll just be able to bring those, and when people see it, they know right away, like, oh man, like I remember that moment, the nostalgia, that feel of it. So for me,
absolutely,
that's kind of how I approach it.
Last question, Jay, before we get you out of here. My mind, I need to recover a couple of seconds. Kwame, you know me. I thought I was quick with it, and I thought I was ready, and I was thinking maybe I need to switch over to the laptop to get more efficient. But I think I got my iPhone, 11 Pro is doing just fine. But Josiah, besides your recreation that you have on Twitter, it seems like that you are well ingrained in the development, the writing, some of the producing of some of the shows that we have already watched and some coming up. I honestly just want to give you the platform and to learn a little bit the non social media don that you are, and just what are you working on and what have you worked on, bro? Give me the little rundown.
I'll give you quick. So out of college, I started a website with a couple buddies called Jersey Chaser. We did a bunch of funny off-kilter comedy and stuff that got the attention of people working in the entertainment industry. Ended up parlaying that into a show called Legends of Chamberlain Heights that ran for 2 seasons on Comedy Central. That was more or less loosely based on my life as a bench warmer at UCLA, where I played basketball at. I was on the team. I didn't play that much. So we did that for 2 seasons, created that, wrote on that, voiced like 6 or 7 characters an episode, including 2 of the principal characters. So did that, do a bunch of stuff on that space. Just finished a show with Ava DuVernay and Colin Kaepernick and Michael Starberry called Colin in Black and White. That should be starting production here soon. That's going to be highly, highly anticipated. And people, it's a limited drama series on Cap's life growing up in high school. So it's going to be something that people really don't expect. They see the Cap now, and even from the other side, the maggots and those people of the world. Why is he like this? Whatever. But watching that show, I think will glean and kind of give you a little bit more into who he is, and also show that he's kind of always been like this. He just needed an ability to kind of let it out. But he's always, he grew up. He was adopted by 2 white parents growing up in Turlock, California. And just dealing with the stuff. People hear California and they always think, the beach and Santa Monica, whatever. Central Cali is not that. Central Cali is a lot more, red leaning. They're a lot more, kind of, let's say, traditional, old school in their way of thinking. So
got you.
But to be able to work on that project and to be, to able to meet Cap and just kind of see who he is, because that was even my thing going into it. I'd heard kind of everything, and just straight up, one of the first questions I asked him was like, "Yo, is this all for show? Do you even really want to play football again? Because people keep telling me you don't." He just gave me the look like, of course you see that passion, you see how much he's dealt with and how much he's been an underdog his whole life. So to have that thing taken from him it's one thing if it's taken from him for some transgressions or doing some stuff, negative off the field. It's taken from him because he kneeled and to protest the injustices that we're still seeing today. Ironically enough, we still saw George Floyd neck get kneeled on, but for some reason, one kneel got a lot more, attention than the other. And, it's just to see that stuff. So working on that show, and then also developing some other projects with my buddy Michael Starberry and Matthew Cherry, who's an Oscar winner for his animated short Hair Love. So trying to stay as busy as possible, man, but also trying to show people see the tweets and kind of all that. That's just one side of the world where you can do a lot of different stuff, especially nowadays. I kind of joke with my friends that work in social about it. Like 5-10 years ago, we would have never imagined that you could, that your job could be social, right? And even now, there's still, with the advent of streaming and now all these platforms popping up, there's still this kind of negative, condescending look that I feel like the old school, old guard, traditional like TV has with streaming. But the problem that they run into is they try to come to the streaming block with some garbage, and it's like nobody's rocking with that. If you don't know how to
let that sit for years, right?
If you don't know how to get your heat off on Twitter organically, like you can go pay for views and do all that other shit that they try and do. But as viewers now, we've become so subjected to seeing ads all the time. We don't rock with that type of shit. We only really between HBO Max, Disney Plus, Netflix, you can do BET Plus, go down the line of all these streamers. Well, how do you now get my eyeballs on your content? And if you're not strong on the social game and in IG and Twitter and TikTok and all these spaces, then you're going to become obsolete. So it's crazy to see now how they used to look at us versus now it's like, oh man, you got to help, you got to help us make our shit hot. And how do we do it? And how'd you get 1 million views off this video you didn't pay for? And it's like, there's a lot of shit that I can't really, explain. I just do because I've been in the game for so long, which I know you guys know.
Feel, right. Yep. It's a whole lot of feel when doing the art of social media, and you either have the feel of your audience and understand, how to ride those waves, or you don't, and then you're paying for engagements, and then you see a promotion under a tweet or some shit like that, and then we all scrolling regardless. So no, I mean this has been amazing, Kwame. I don't know about you, but this has been a dope ass interview. So Jay. We're not going to hold you any much longer, my brother. Thank you so much for hopping in the Late Night Lake Show pregame show with us. And hopefully we can link again soon. And damn it, I got your email. So I'm going to ask for an apprenticeship or weird something like, dog, send me a YouTube video to watch or some shit because I need to learn something, G. So
hear me. I'll always help, man. If you ever want me back on too, let me know. It's all love, obviously, for the Lakers. Anything for the purple and gold for the city. So appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
All right.
That is a talented individual, my
Johnson. I didn't even know. I forgot all about that show.
Oh, yeah, no, Legends of Chamberlain. That's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know that was about. That's wild to me. Hey, that is
it was loosely based off of my life. I'm like, damn, okay, what the hell am I doing in these four walls with pictures of Kobe behind me constantly? Yeah. So. Ooh, okay, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Obviously we talked our Lakers talk, not a whole lot about tonight's matchup, but hopefully you were able to enjoy that. We bring our guests on weekly onto the podcast. So again, if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to Late Night Lake Show wherever you get your podcast. Hit us up on Twitter, Late Night Lakers. Hit us up on Twitch at Late Night Lake Show. We'll be doing giveaways, all types of good stuff. So